What is up, super fam and bro vengers alike? I am Sensei Finito, and welcome to Marvel Bros, where we discuss all things Marvel and everything pop culture. And today we are checking out episode 3 of Secret Invasion, and we are doing our watch party and review. Happy 4th to everybody. I hope everyone has had a fantastic 4th of July so far. Excuse me. I've had a fantastic one myself. I've been drinking, so I'm going to just let that be known. Your boy been drinking and I'm not done yet. So let's just let that be known. I hope everybody is excited to get into Secret Invasion episode 3. Last week we left off on, I don't know if we can call it a cliffhanger, but we definitely left off on a crazy note, and it's just been leaving nothing but speculation and theories throughout the fandom. If you guys haven't already, make sure you follow us on social media at Marvel Bros to stay up to date with all the latest news, movie reviews, and content that we post every single day. And you can also follow me on social media at Sensei Finito to stay up to date with all the thoughts, theories, and opinions that I have that are partaking to whatever particular thing that we may be partaking in within that particular time. You feel me? I said all that while being a little bit intoxicated, so I think I deserve a little bit of a round of applause right there. I'm just saying. You feel me? Like I don't know. I got that out pretty well. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to me. Just saying. I hope everybody is ready to get into it and just vibe out, bro. I think that all of the episodes that we've gotten so far when it comes to Secret Invasion have been incredible. I mean, they have been literally things that I don't think I ever thought that we would see when it comes to the MCU, when it comes to Secret Invasion, right? Like I think Secret Invasion is a good not even just a good, but a great way to showcase that people kind of just need to shut up and wait when it comes to the complaining that they do with the MCU, right? People are complaining, like, think about when Captain Marvel came out, right? People were complaining out the ass. Oh my God, this means the Skrulls are good guys. We're never going to get Secret Invasion, right? Like, the complaining was at an all-time high when Captain Marvel came out because people were like, how are we going to ever get Secret Invasion when the Skrulls are basically good guys now? And it's like, well, now we see, you know what I mean? That was all part of a plot device, you know? That was 30 plus years ago. So that really, like, the Skrulls that we see then versus the Skrulls we have now in the MCU are nowhere near the same. So it just really goes to show that a lot of the complaints and a lot of the things that people have issues with when it comes to the MCU are actually plot devices that aren't like put in place to be a long reoccurring thing. It's more of a thing to kind of put a band-aid on something for the time being until they can actually properly look at whatever the issue is, right? And I think that's something that's happened beautifully with Secret Invasion. We've been able to see a lot of these things that we've had issues with for the last, you know, for whatever the case may be. We've been able to see those things actually come to fruition and have a quote unquote head or come to a head within the MCU by just giving it a little bit of leeway, right? And really, I keep saying this, but if you think about it, bro, the MCU, if we never got that break, that forced break from COVID, everyone would be so hype about the MCU right now. There would be no room to even be like, oh, they're just doing woke propaganda BS. Like, there would have been no room for that because it would have just been one after another. We would have went from Endgame to WandaVision. And then we went, you know what I mean? WandaVision to this, from this to this. Like, and it would have just been a non-stop barrage of content to keep us consumed with what's going on within the MCU. Like no doubt about it, I really do feel like even though we obviously see that the CGI has taken a humongous hit, you know what I mean, within the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but even with that hit that it got, if we just kept the MCU going from when we stopped with Endgame, there would have been no complaints because we wouldn't have been able to even comprehend what's happening because it would have been like, okay, what's going on with Wanda? Okay, what's going on with Falcon and the Winter Soldier? Okay, what's going on with Moon Knight, Loki, Miss Marvel? It was supposed to be no gap between that. Like, really think about that. There was supposed to be no gap between Endgame and WandaVision. Like, that was a next year type of thing. It wasn't a we gotta wait 2 years until we see it, or even a year. Like everything got pushed back a year and plus in order, and not to mention we weren't able to get Doctor Strange in WandaVision because of COVID. Like COVID caused a major comeuppance within the community of nerddom for the MCU specifically, especially when we already just had Endgame bring in so many new faces to the MCU, and then we got all of these normies that really aren't nerds that even understand what the comic books are or even know like about the comic books in the same stint, and now they're like almost they're like pros at the MCU, and they think that means that they're pros at the comics, and so on and so on and so on and so forth. So I think that's one of the biggest things that I like about Secret Invasion is that it makes me appreciate Captain Marvel even more. It makes me ask more questions about where the hell was Nick Fury? Where was Captain Marvel in these 30 years in order for all of these other villains in order for these Skrulls to take the stance that they have now, as like, we've been left alone and it's been up to us and only us, and nothing more than that. So I'm super hyped about this show, and I really can't wait to see what's going to happen tonight. With all that being said, I just want you guys to know that Disney Plus does usually update Secret Invasion and all that around 11:50 p.m. So, that's just something to think about. And we're going to get into the show as soon as it starts. So I'm super hyped for it. Let's jump into the chat and see how everyone is doing today. My guy John Greaves. Let's get the chat actually up in here. Let me know if you guys had a good Merca day. Boom. Okay. Good morning. Halfway through my shift at work. Ready for some Secret Invasion. Did you see what I put in the Discord? I did see what you put in the Discord. And speaking of that, let me know. Okay, put a 1 in the chat if you think that Nick Fury knows his wife is a Skrull. And let me see a 2 in the chat if you think that he doesn't know. Like, that's really what we got to start off with, because that's one of the first things. Me and John were actually talking about this in our Discord. If you guys aren't in the Discord already, make sure you jump in there, because we are trying to get way more active in the Discord, and we're always talking about stuff. But the one thing that we were talking about is, like, it seems pretty obvious that Nick Fury does know that his wife is a Skrull, but at the same time, it's very possible that he doesn't know. You know what I mean? But I'm on the side of he knows. You know what I mean? I don't think that his wife is finessing him at all. I think that he knows. His wife was like the social worker of the Skrulls, and we see that his wife actually had a relationship with Gravik as well when they were young, and that's something that leads me to believe that Nick Fury and his wife were kind of like the surrogate parents to Gravik, because Gravik lost his parents and lost his family. And I'm pretty sure that's why Gravik, I mean, if we look at the last episode, Gravik had a in-depth knowledge of how to not only use weapons, but how to use them properly. And he looked like a soldier like an American soldier. He didn't look like an alien that's using guns for the first time. No, he looked like someone who was raised by someone in the military and knows how to use these weapons, right? So that's one of the biggest things that's causing me to think maybe he was raised as like Nick Fury and whatever his wife's name is, son. And we get that military vibe. He went into the military when he was old enough. He even probably was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, Ghost was working for S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, and the thing that makes me think about this is like, S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't unknown for these things, right? Look at Ghost. When Ghost was a child, she lost her dad because her dad was working on the quantum realm, like, portal thing, right? What did they do? They instantly took Ghost in and they raised her to be a freaking assassin for S.H.I.E.L.D. Like, so I don't think it's outside of the realm of possibility for Nick Fury to do this type of thing with someone that is his quote-unquote surrogate son. And I'm hoping that's one of the things that is initially talked about within this episode today. Marisu, what's up with it, Marisu? Let us see you here. Remy says, super excited once again for tonight. Yeah, facts. I'm super excited for it as well, Remy. I hope you guys are too. That's like saying humans are good guys. Yeah, that's true. We definitely aren't. Good point, Marisu. I like that they're treating aliens as individuals who make choices instead of all XYZ are the same. Yes, that's actually a really good point, John. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually a really good point that actually has been coming up with a lot of the research that I've been doing when it comes to like world building and stuff. And something that I recently was watching was actually doing a breakdown of Avatar, The Last Airbender, and it was just talking about, even though it's dope that each of the characters are correlated to like what their bending would represent as a character trait, right? Like water tribe are more mellow, airbending are more this, and then the fire tribe, the fire nation is of course like, you know, they're more hot headed. You know, it's very tropey. It's very obvious as to what their like who they are as a person, because it's stereotypical to their bending habits, right? And that's one thing that I think is, like you're saying, John, I think that's something that's really amazing and something that should be definitely capitalized on when it comes to the MCU, is that for the Skrulls, and not just the Skrulls, but for every race that we've met up until this point, you know, even down to the gold people that the High Evolutionary made, you know, everyone is like, they're like, nah, bro, I'm not going to be the stereotypical this. I'm not going to be the stereotypical that. And they try to break out of that. But at the same time, you still have the ones that are the quote unquote stereotypical Skrulls, but they're not just stereotypical Skrulls. They have a reason behind the quote unquote stereotype of what we are putting on them from knowing the history through the comics. You know what I mean? And I think that's something that people are really just missing out on. And, you know, like I've seen people talk about filler, and I've seen people talk about, you know, all these other things. And it's like, you really don't know what filler is if you have not watched anime. You really don't know what world building is if you're not if you haven't read any books before ever. You don't know what world building really entails. You don't know what storytelling really entails. And I'm not trying to say that, you know, movies and television aren't able to properly tell stories or properly build worlds, but in books it's a lot easier because you have 400,000 words, you have X amount of chapters, you have all of these pages to utilize to your benefit to build worlds, to get more depth with characters and all these things, and you can't spend as much time in books, right? Like, if you look at a book, some books are like 24 hours on Audible to listen to. It takes 24 hours to listen to them. There's no way that you're going to get that amount of content from a book, that the same amount of content that's in a book from a show. It's just not possible. You know what I mean? It's just not possible. Comeuppance is crazy. I agree. Nick Fury is becoming my favorite Marvel character at the moment. I can definitely agree with that. No cap. Christopher Baker, yo, how you doing, Christopher? I hope you're having a good one. I hope all you guys are having a good one. What's up? I'm happy to be tuning in with you again. I'm happy that you're here. I'm hoping that you're super ready to lock in and get it popping, yo. Actually, it is 11:50, so let me see if Secret Invasion, the episode 3 is out right now. Episode 3 is out, and the episode is 43 minutes long. We got a 43-minute long episode. This is actually the shortest episode that we've had yet. So, last thoughts and all that type of stuff. What I'm hoping to see is, the main thing that I'm really hoping to see is Gaia's backstory. That's what I want the most, is Gravik's backstory. Gaia's backstory. I want to know why she doesn't like Carol Danvers as much. I want to know what happened to our boy's wife. You know what I mean? I want to know what happened to Talos' wife. Those are two of the biggest things that I really need answered for me. So those are the things that I'm hoping we get answered in this episode. Let me know in the comment section down below what you guys are hoping to get into. If you guys don't know how these watch parties work around here, we're not able to show everything through its entirety. So we will count to 3, and on 3 we will press play together. But before then, you guys already know. Go ahead and go to the bathroom. Go ahead and get all your snacks ready. And if you don't know what snack to grab for this watch party, I got something for you.
Hi, my name is Dominique Pruitt, and I started Dom's Bomb Gourmet Popcorn LLC in the summer of 2021 to introduce delicious and unique flavored popcorn not found anywhere else in the world. Why, you ask? Because I make it in my home with love, just for you. We offer over 10 flavors and are continuously creating new flavors that can be customized to any color or taste for your next event, party, or fundraiser. So go find yourself to our website and find a bombastic flavor of popcorn at donsbombgourmetpopcorn.com, or you can also follow us on Instagram or Facebook at Don's Bomb Gourmet Popcorn.
And shout out to Dom's Bomb Gourmet Popcorn for always making sure that the popcorn is bomb and gourmet. Now, with all that being said, we are about to dive into episode 3 titled Betrayed. I hope you guys are ready because I know that I am. And without further ado, I give you episode 3 of Secret Invasion. On 3, we will press play so we can enjoy this together. If you did not have the patience to wait and press play with the rest of the super fam, I understand, but please, no spoilers in the chat. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Let's get it. All right. Previously. Ooh. Bruh. You know what would be even crazier? If Gravik knew who Maria Hill was and they like kind of worked together? Because if you think about it, they're probably the same age. Oh my god. I forgot there's a million Skrulls. And they really out here telling us like crazy things, you know what I mean? Super Skrull? Yeah, Fury has to know that his wife is a Skrull. Like, there's no way he doesn't. If Fury doesn't know his wife is a Skrull, then bro is way more off base than we thought he was. Also, love their names. Ooh. They definitely didn't build up the Flag Smashers as well as we're building up the Skrulls as being like this terrorist group. Or did they? You know? Oh, we're starting off hot. Bro, being able to not only change your appearance but your clothes too, next level. He said Super Scrolls. He said the thing. Bruh. Bruh. I think we're off to a wonderful start. Bully Chef says, yo, what's up with the Bully Chef?
Hello there.
Has it really, bro, has it really been 2 weeks? Yes, Frisky, it's been 2 weeks already. I know it's insane to think about that. People say this or that as filler because they want to sound knowledgeable, but they ignore the fact that in the MCU and Star Wars, to some extent, they build up plot lines slowly. Yeah, legitimately. Like, that's a really good point. I want flashbacks to Nick's first date with his Skrull wife. Okay, I'm actually all the way for that. Like, anyone that says something is filler, I know they've never watched any anime in their life. Because it's like, bro, you don't even know what filler means, bro. Imagine watching Naruto when you have 6 episodes in a row that is filler. You don't know filler. Wild intro? Yeah, this intro is a dub. Is it different? It is different. Right? Yeah, this is different from last week's. Okay, that was an amazing. He said the heroes of Earth will respond. Which heroes? Very true. We just talked about this on Marvel Bros. Monday if you guys were there. Like, who? Oh, New York? We were not in New York before. We're in 1998. Mari Sue, I think we're getting exactly what you wanted. Last week we got what John wanted. This week it looks like we're getting what Mari Sue wanted. Mari Sue. Yo. Mari Sue. Yo. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay, crazy that he speaks of World War III, right? Ooh, I love that quote. Is it just me, or did Fury and her look super good with the de-aging technology? Like Fury, to me, I'm not gonna lie, Fury looked better just now than he did in Captain Marvel. I might just be tripping, but for real. Ooh. Oh my god. Here you come. Oh shit. Bro, Nick left like Fury left everyone. Why? Has she turned on him? Is that what that means? Oh, she has an android. She's a bad guy. One's in the chat if we trust her. Two's in the chat if we don't. One's in the chat if we trust her. Two's in the chat if we don't. I'm leaning more towards two. I'm not gonna lie. Do we trust Fury's wife or no? One for yes, two for no. Ooh. I mean, Brogan did say something, right? Like, if I'm remembering last episode correctly, he definitely mentioned something. Okay, and And this is peak storytelling, okay? You take a story where no one can be trusted and you put that also on the bad guys to where they can't trust their own people. That is how good storytelling works, ladies and gentlemen. Because no one can be trusted no matter who you work for. Whether you work for the Skrulls or you work for S.H.I.E.L.D., you cannot be trusted. I love it. Neptune? Okay. I guess we're confirming that Gaia is actually working for someone, but not her dad. So maybe she is working with Monica and Sword? Hmm. Ooh. Where I would absolutely love to see Gravik and Talos like working together. But of course they never would. Oh shit! Changing back is incredible. Yeah, I mean, that's the one thing. Oh shit. Okay. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I'm I thought they tried to establish that different colored blood means. I'm pretty sure they tried to establish that different color blood means that they're Skrulls, but they're definitely going for something completely different. Everyone could be a Skrull, bro. Literally everyone. Oh, good point, Marisu. That could be an extreme. That is the extremist ability to do that shit. I don't even know what to believe. Yo, Nighthawk. Yeah, he is a super now. Talos ain't shit for that. Do you okay? One in the chat if you think he's talking about Rhodey. One in the chat if you think he's talking about James Rhodes, bro. One in the chat if you think he's talking about James Rhodes, my guy. Or do we think he's talking about two? If we think he's talking about the white dude that's like the Alex Jones type guy. Chaos Gaming Theory says one. Second time World War III has been mentioned in this episode. Bro, no one can be trusted. No, it's the Prime Minister? Marisu. Let's get it. Here we go. I Bruh, I fucking love Nick Fury, bro. Nick Fury lets everyone say whatever they want to, and it never changes how he feels about anything. Blood mist. We don't see that ever. I mean, ever. One of them was a Skrull? Bro playing the crew. Nah, that's not him that said that, bro. Talos got his ass whooped, and that was another Skrull that's there. I don't believe that at all. Thank you. Oh! Ones are right! All the ones are right! It was 100% Rhodey is a Skrull. from what he just said. Bro, Nick Fury is holding a child hostage. Bruh. Okay, so we just got it confirmed, yo. The whole Nick and Fury thing from Captain Marvel is still a thing to this day. So the person most likely that Fury is talking about is. All right, y'all, it's getting real. Interspecies poo cleaning relationship? Oh, God, Doofy, yeah. This is the best show, I agree. You weren't going to have Oscar winner Samuel L. Jackson in a bad show, facts. Wait, bro's a Skrull? Okay, so she is. Did she kill him? Okay, we need to see. Holy shit! This is the Captain Marvel technology. There are fireworks going on, I believe, right outside my window. Bro died. Press the scroll. Shout out to all the spy girls out there rocking motorcycles. Am I high or did the blood turn purple? I love cutting the motorcycle. The bro, that's beautiful. Cutting the motorcycle, pulling up to the security bench. 100% graphic. Yeah, he about to smack her at the very least. Oh shit! Oh shit! was furious. That was bro's voice. Bro, 100% that was Rhodey's voice. 100% that was Rhodey's voice. That's Rhodey's voice. 100% that's Rhodey's voice. Bro, oh my God, bro. Oh my God, bro. Oh my goodness. Oh my God. What a banger, bro. Let's get some claps in the chat, bro. Oh my God, bro. This show is doing, bro, what? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me, bro? Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Nothing but dubs in the chat for that, bro. Let's get some dubs in the chat, bro, because that was a wonderful episode, yo. Oh my God, bro. Oh my goodness. That did wonders for everything, bro. 100%. That was 100% that was Rhodey at the end talking to her. 100% Nick Fury's wife is a bad Skrull, not a good one. The entire time, we're asking, does he know if his wife is a Skrull? Yes, he does. He just doesn't know that she's a bad one. Oh my goodness, bro. Are you kidding me? I'm talking about this was an amazing episode. World building, storytelling. Oh, bro. Oh my goodness, bro. Oh my goodness. I can't believe what we just saw. I can't believe what we just saw, bro. That was a major dub, bro. That was a major dub. Bro. Oh my goodness. What an amazing episode, bro. I am lost for words, bro. Let me know all of your thoughts about that episode in the chat immediately, bro. Let me know how you guys are feeling about that immediately, bro. No cap. Let me know how you guys are feeling about that. What are your thoughts? Give me all your theories. Give me all your opinions. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you rate that episode? Let me know immediately. Let me know now. Let me know now. And when I say now, I mean right now, this instant, bro. That was a beautiful episode. I honestly can't even believe how incredible that was, bro. Oh my God. Oh my goodness, bro. What a W episode, ladies and gentlemen. Oh my goodness. Definitely drop a like on the stream if you are here and if you're rocking, bro, because that episode was great. It was so short, but it gave us all of the things that we needed. I got so much to talk about, but I gotta pee. I gotta go get me something else to drink because I'm about to lose my voice. So, here we go. Let's get this going. I'll be right back. Sensei Finito, aka Vane Sensei, and I'm here with my bro.
Yo, y'all already know it's Vane DeVito, bro. We up in here, man. Today we came with a little surprise for y'all, which was a little surprise for us as well. Facts. And we've been waiting on this surprise. So y'all see it. Y'all see it.
You feel me?
Little delivery box.
We
right
got
there.
The little box
You know
from none other than Glitch Energy, yo.
Yo, big glitch out here. You know what I'm saying?
Shake it, shake it, shake it, shake it. Shake it like a song, shake it like a glitch, shake it like a glitch, shake it like a shake it.
We in there.
Ooh, it smells dumbass good.
Fire? Ooh.
This is the starter kit. I believe it starts at $15. We got the shaker, 5 flavors. I'm not sure if that's how it comes. That's what they sent to us. So we definitely appreciate that. But y'all definitely check it out. Tell us what your favorite flavor is if you've already tried it.
I'm on go, mode, go, mode. I'm on go, mode, go, mode. Bitch, I'm on go, mode, go, mode.
Okay, I'm hype. All right, here we go. We just got done watching episode 3 of Secret and... We just got done watching episode 3 of Secret Invasion. And all I can say is that was incredible, bro. Episode 3 answered so many questions that we needed answers to. And episode 3 pulled a fast one on us with the whole, all the questions that you have been asking are the wrong questions. You have not been asking the right questions. You have not been doing the right things. We were bamboozled, ladies and gentlemen. And we were bamboozled in the best way. This episode was the shortest episode, and yet it answered the most questions. Does Fury know his wife is a Skrull? Yes. The question we didn't ask: is she a bad guy or is she a good guy? Because we just thought if he knows that she's a Skrull, that automatically meant that she's a good guy. But that's not what that meant at all. We were asking, who was Gaia working for? Is Gaia really a bad guy or a good guy? Oh, she's a good guy. A lot of people thought that Talos was going to die this episode. But no. No. He didn't. His daughter did, though. Rhodey is a Skrull. And they gave it to us in the best way possible. They answered all the questions we had of deceit and mischievousness in such a great way. I can't believe it, man. That was a great episode right there. A great one. I think episode after episode, it's got better and better. Like, every episode, I feel like every episode previous is a 10 until we get the next episode so far. Like, I thought episode 1 was a 10 out of 10, and then we got episode 2. And then I thought episode 2 was a 10 out of 10, and then we got episode 3. And it's like, this is capitalizing on the formula that I believe that Marvel has been trying to get down packed since WandaVision. Like, I don't think Falcon and Winter Soldier, hell, I don't even think Loki capitalized on the show being a movie vibe. You know what I mean? Like, when it comes to HBO Max, the reason HBO was called HBO is because HBO stands for home box office. So basically what they were saying is you are going to get the movie feel from being at home. And for all intents and purposes, that's exactly what we got from HBO for the longest time. But they were just able to even give us more episodes and give us even more content with, you know what I mean, and still tackle this. And I think we've seen the MCU dilly-dally within not just the MCU, but Disney Plus in general, even when it comes to Star Wars, really dilly-dally in the fact of what it means to be that home box office or to have these shows feel like movies in a certain way. You know what I mean? A lot of people's complaints is that these all should be movies and nothing should be on Disney Plus, and Disney Plus is like killing that. And I don't agree with that necessarily, but I do think that they've been missing the mark on a lot of the things that they've been trying to accomplish. And I think that this accomplishes all of those things. Like, there has not been a time where I have felt like the MCU storytelling and world building is occurring on such a high level outside of like Avengers level threat movies, right? Like, I mean, Civil War is like the one exception. I mean, I guess they're starting to do more of that when it comes to the other movies that they have, but really the Avengers movies are the ones that they put at the forefront to tackle these different stories and really do a lot of the world building. Captain America is like I said, he's an anomaly because the Winter Soldier going into Civil War and then that going into Infinity War and Endgame, that's kind of the best escalation that we've seen, I believe, in the MCU when it comes to the characters and how they deal with each other. And not to mention, of course, I guess you can rope Age of Ultron in there because a lot of those things that they built that were built up from Winter Soldier, like it goes from Winter Soldier to Age of Ultron to Civil War to this, you know what I mean? So it's like the MCU, in my opinion, the MCU is the first time I feel like we've got to read books as a movie. Like like each movie feels like a book in its own, bruh. It's just a lot. And I feel like this show is doing everything right to give us the world building, the storytelling that we need in order to move this universe forward. Like, we don't even know how big this is, right? I mean, I said this at the beginning, but Captain Marvel, a lot of people were just like, oh my God, Captain Marvel is just this show to have Captain Marvel come into Endgame and save everybody. And she quite literally didn't really do that. But she did, but she didn't. And now we see all of the things from her movie going into this. Like, a lot of people thought that the whole being able to see Captain Marvel's thoughts because of Skrull technology was stupid. But now we see it be used in such a nuanced way. And it just makes it feel different, but it's the same thing. Like, I loved it, bro. Like, I just love this show. And I love the MCU. Like no cap, I love the MCU and I love what they do. And I'm just really hyped about this show and the things that are going to come into the future because we still have 2 more episodes. And it's like on one hand, you can say we only have 2 more episodes, but it's like they've done this much in 3. So just imagine what these next 2 episodes are really going to actually tackle and what is actually going to be talked about and discussed within these next episodes. I am so freaking excited for what can happen for like within this, like just next. I am so hyped for what can happen next, bro. I can't believe it. I loved that episode, bro. And now, with all that being said, we're going to jump into chat and see how you guys feel about all of that, yo. Oh, okay. Talos and Nick Fury are like Riggs and I don't know who they are, John. My bad. Riggs and Murtaugh. Lethal Weapon. Yeah, I've not watched any of those Lethal Weapons movies, John. My bad. Antoine says Talos and Fury about to do some things together. LOL. I don't know what you're talking about, Antoine. But, bruh, they're like, Talos is gonna be tripping so hard when he finds out that his daughter is dead. It's about to be go time. Ain't no way. Yeah, bruh. Insane. And hella Skrulls are dying. Hella people are dying, but Skrulls are dying as well. Samurai says W. Yeah, that was definitely a W, Samurai. I hope you have a good time with that episode. Let me know how you're feeling in the comments. Edge of the seat the whole time? Yeah, I agree, Chaos Gaming Theory, bro. I think that this episode definitely did some amazing things. Amazing things. Tackled some really dope aspects, yo, that I don't think I was ready for. I wasn't ready to be handled right like tonight. You know what I mean? Like some of those things I just really was not ready for, bro. Like I just wasn't ready. Yep, Talos is about to reinsert that knife once he finds out that happened. Nobody calls me Nick. Then based on last week, Rhodey is a Skrull. Yeah, that's exactly what I was saying as well. You know what I mean? If that's what it is, but I mean Maria also called him Nick at some point, right? So is she a Skrull? Like what does that mean? I don't know, bro. Like what does that really mean? But, you know, him saying that he has, you know, he knows high level government official that is in that is a Skrull or that's a spy or whatever. I mean, he has to be talking about Rhodey. And then if we go off of that same logic, then that's how he knows. Another W? Yeah, that was definitely W's. That episode was crazy. I agree, Remy. That episode was freaking crazy. This is the best MCU show ever. I definitely think it's up there with Loki. I think Loki and Secret Invasion are definitely up there when it comes to the MCU shows. And I think that, the Falcon and Winter Soldier, WandaVision, I think all of the shows are you can argue that those are really good as well, but I don't think they're tackling the same level of storytelling that we're getting here. I mean, I guess WandaVision kind of did. But I feel like WandaVision as well as the Falcon and Winter Soldier were more banking on the movies that followed them to kind of continue that story. And I think it worked for WandaVision and Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. I just hope it works better for the Falcon and Winter Soldier going into Captain America Brave New World. And they spoke about like that New World Order and all that type of shit multiple times in this episode. Super. It kind of actually makes me a little bummed that they changed the title of Captain America to Brave New World instead of New World Order, because to me it feels like they did that change strictly to compensate having DC call their Batman Brave and the Bold. You know what I mean? It's like, oh, how can we put Brave in here now that we know that DC has Brave in their title? You know what I mean? And I'm not a fan of that, but I still think they're doing a really good way. They're doing a really good job. Haven't felt this tense since Game of Thrones, yo. Yeah, House of the Dragon. I didn't watch Game of Thrones, but House of the Dragon definitely had me on the edge of my seat, and I think that this show does that same thing. Fun to find out everything that made Fury what he is. He was getting help. He was getting from his Skrull spies. Yeah. I think that, okay, I'm going to talk about this for a little while, so just bear with me. I am a big fan of this, but unfortunately, I know people are going to be set tripping and say that this is another nerf to Nick Fury. But in all actuality, this is the biggest Nick Fury thing ever to do. Right? Like, this falls within the lines of Nick Fury being Nick Fury. Like, think about how he uses the life model decoys and all these things in the comics that he uses to his disposal. And you can argue that if he didn't have those things to use in the comics, then he wouldn't be what he is today. You know what I mean? So I like that they're taking this same type of route, but they're giving it to him in a completely different way within the Skrulls, because it's like, you can say, oh, Nick Fury wouldn't have any of the clout he has now without the Skrulls, but But on the same hand, I don't think you can just insert any person into that role of Nick Fury and give them the Skrulls at their disposal and they end up in the same spot that Nick Fury did. Like, I think that's one thing that is sanctioned to Nick Fury because he's freaking Nick Fury. You know what I mean? It's like, of course that's what he would do. Of course he would use those to the best of his ability. Of course he would do all of those things. You know what I mean? Because he's Nick Fury. Even when he's out, he's in. No matter what. So I kind of feel that, you know? But I on the other hand, I know that people are going to be set tripping and be like, oh, they nerfed Nick Fury because of this. But on the same hand, it's like when we found out he had all those life model decoys, when we found out that no one had actually met Nick Fury ever because of said life model decoys and all those things, you know, it felt right. Even though a lot of people felt robbed, it was like, no, that seems like a Nick Fury thing to do. And this seems like a Nick Fury thing to do 100%. Use all of the Skrulls for the last 30 years at his disposal in the best way that he could. And for a lot of reasons, you tie that back into Gravik's story as to why he feels played. That's not the main reason why, but that definitely has something to do with it. You know what I mean? Like, definitely has something to do with it. This episode was awesome. I couldn't agree more, Samurai. What a great episode, yo. Every episode is like season finale quality. I definitely agree with that, and then it makes it feel even more like these episodes are self-contained, or this show feels like a bunch of self-contained movies, right? Like all the way. We got some grade A ratings coming through. We got 10 out of 10 from Nighthawk, 9.8 from Remy. Definitely let me know what you guys would rate this on your scale, on your Marvel Bros scale out of 10. Let me know what you would rate this. John says, we know why Fury built his reputation of always being a step ahead of everyone else. Ooh. No, I like that because it answers multiple questions right at one time. It answers multiple questions. It answers the questions of how was he? You know what I mean? And it's because he had all these Skrulls at his disposal. How did this happen? Because of this. How did that happen? Because of this. You know what I mean? And I think that's a W, bro. Rhodey? Yo, right now, let's get some ones in the chat if you honestly think that Rhodey is a Skrull. 2's in the chat if you think he's not. 1's in the chat if you think that Rhodey is a Skrull. 2's in the chat if you think he's not. 3's in the chat if you're not sure. And you need to see some more in order to actually establish a good opinion on that. 1's yes. 2's no. 3's maybe. Let's get those in the chat right now. Like right now, I need to know how you guys are feeling. Gravik used the extremist powers to heal his hand from the knife stabbing. Yes, Christopher. I loved that, bro. I love being able to see that he's already been kind of taking a little bit of these hits of, you know, becoming a Super Skrull. I love that we even heard the word Super Skrull in this episode. I love all of that. I think we're getting some really spicy things right now, for real, for real. At the time, how tight was Hydra that Fury never got any intel on them taking over from Talos and his team? Okay. That is a very good point. But I guess you could say, now hear me out, I guess you could say that Hydra may have known about the Skrulls and went through a crazy vetting process, and that's how they didn't have any Skrulls as Hydra agents. Because I guess you could do that. Or you could say that Hydra was so long ago that none of the Skrulls knew, or Skrulls got turned into Hydra agents. So I guess you can go a couple ways with that to make it not retconned, right? Like you can go 4 different ways with that. Some Skrulls actually did turn to Hydra. Hydra knew about Skrulls, so they did a proper vetting process to get them out of the fray. Or you can do the entire thing of that, you know what I mean? Like I just said, you know. The question is, how long has Rhodes been a Skrull? The switch had to be after Civil War when he was paralyzed because that Rhodey didn't have Skrull's strength. Okay, let me think about this for a second. Yes. So maybe post Endgame would be maybe in those 5 years. I guess, okay, you guys, we can definitely put a lot of this to those 5 years that we didn't get between Infinity War and Endgame. Because we know that's when Talos called the shitload of Skrulls to Earth. Was in those 5 years when he thought Fury was dead and never coming back. So it could be some of the majority of those type of Skrulls are the ones that have turned to the quote unquote dark side. Right? So in that time, they could have replaced a lot of those leaders. Yeah. Yes. They could have replaced a lot of those leaders at that time. And then when the blip happened and everyone got snapped back, they could have replaced even more and then used that as an opening to get in even more. You know what I mean? Episode 4 is going to be crazy. Definitely. Is Fury a Skrull at the moment? No. No, he's not. Fury isn't a Skrull. And I don't think we've seen Fury as a Skrull other than when Talos was Fury. In my opinion. I've been wondering if Fury was a Skrull since that key art with him merged with the Skrull. I just don't know where that would go in this story. Yeah, Antoine, I honestly think that him merged with the Skrull is just a hint to the plot of him utilizing the Skrulls to do different shit. You know what I mean? That's just how I feel. Bro, episode 4 is going to be crazy. Yeah, definitely. I agree with you, Mark. Like, it definitely is. It's 6 episodes, isn't it? Yeah, Antoine. We got 6 episodes coming at us for Secret Invasion, and I think those 6 episodes are going to be incredible. I'm confused about how involved the Skrulls were through events of previous movies. So this is what I'll say, okay? This is something that this is what I feel comfortable with talking about. I think that throughout the movies and some of the shows that we've got, we have seen Skrulls here and there scattered. I think that the majority of Skrulls that are in the government or have some type of power within that realm are not inherently, quote unquote, in contact with Nick Fury, because I don't think Nick Fury would go the distance of putting Skrulls as political officials. So I think any political official that is a Skrull either put themselves there without the knowing of him, or they put themselves there out, you know what I mean, because of Gravik. So I don't think before this, I 100% do not believe that Fury knew that the Prime Minister and all of these other Skrulls were actually taking the place of these high-level officials within each government across the UN. That's really how I feel, 100%. I don't think that that's something that has happened within his knowledge of knowing. I think after Endgame and him going up into space is when a lot of this takeover has happened from the Skrulls, because they knew that Fury wasn't there. He came back to Earth and left immediately. I mean, his wife turned on him, for God's sake. So a lot of these Skrulls and whatnot, you know what I mean? I think that's where they come in at, along with Talos telling every Skrull in the galaxy that it's good to come here. That's just how I feel about those. You know what I mean? Seems like they should have known about Hydra. Yes, I see that's the thing that a lot of you guys are saying, and I think that goes back to what I just said, right? A lot of the Skrulls aren't in that area. They didn't know about Hydra because Fury didn't allow Skrulls to be at that level of government infiltration, except for probably a select few that he chose specifically. That's how I would feel about it. I don't think that Nick Fury would just put a whole shitload of Skrulls in the government for his beck and call. I think he would put them in place as spies throughout the world, but not necessarily in those government areas at all. I just don't think that's what it would happen, because I feel like that, and I don't think that Kevin Feige would do that either. To get, like, when I come up with these theories and stuff that I talk about, I try to stay really in world with it. But if we come outside of world for a business way and for plot device ways, I don't think that Kevin Feige would let that happen. I can't put Loki up there because they have plot holes all over the place. I definitely need to know about the plot holes that you're talking about, because I just need to know about those, and because I might need to be able to plug up some of those plot holes with just being able to, you know what I mean, just looking at it from a different perspective. Tony says that was Rhodey's voice on the phone, right? Oh, 10 billion %, Tony. Like 10 billion % that was Rhodey's voice on the phone. 10 billion %. I have no doubt in my mind. They made Gaia so dumb in this show? I don't know about that, Dula. I definitely need to know what you mean by that, because I don't feel that way at all. I don't think Fury using the Skrulls as intelligent assets nerfs him. He's a spy master. He has spies everywhere that feed him intel. He also had Natasha and other deep cover agents, no difference. I agree with you 10 million % right there, John. No cap. I agree with you 10 million %. There's no way they brought Emilia Clarke in just to kill her off like that. Ooh. That's a good point. That's a really good point, Mike. What's up with it, by the way, Mike? I don't think I've said what's up to you yet. How you doing, Mike? Hope you enjoyed the show. Damn. That's a really good point. And I really don't understand the whole Skrull pain thing. Right? Like, I thought they said that if you have red blood, that means you're not a Skrull. And I also thought that, you know what I mean, if you die, you automatically turn back into a Skrull. So I'm not really sure. We might have to wait for the next episode to get a little bit more information on that. But, Mike, I wouldn't be surprised if that's what happened, because I think they've done that before. You know what I mean? Maybe she has extremist powers too. Ooh. But she was way too surprised when it came to all the other Super Skrull stuff that she saw, right? So I don't think that would be the case. All right, so like I said, I asked you guys, 1's in the chat if you think Rhodey is a Skrull, 2's in the chat if you think he's not, and 3's in the chat if you're not sure. Mike Davis got 2's, Elite G says 1, John says 1, Aaron says 1, Nighthawk says 1, Samurai says 3, so he's not sure. Antoine is all over the place with it. Dula doesn't think that Rhodey is a Skrull. So yeah, yo, I definitely think that Rhodey is a Skrull, yo. I'm not gonna lie. I think Rhodey is a Skrull, and I think that it's possible that he hasn't been a Skrull for a long time, like Marisu was saying. Like Civil War, I don't think he's a Skrull. Endgame, I think in the like between Infinity War and Endgame, he may be a Skrull, and then I think it's even more possible that after Endgame, he's become a Skrull. And that does wonders if Armor Wars is about the Skrull doing shit. And it does even more wonders if it's about James Rhodes doing shit because a Skrull has been in his place for the last 3 to 4 years. Either one of those is a major dub for me. He doesn't have his walker, for sure a Skrull. I guess that's a damn good point. I didn't even think about that. Is possibly paving the way. One of the things I mentioned in the Discord is that this show is possibly paving the way for Hulkling and Young Avengers. I think we're supposed, if I'm not mistaken, we're supposed to get Hulkling I think we're supposed to get Hulkling in Agatha Covenant Chaos, and then from what I've heard for scoops, the Young Avengers will be hinted at in the Marvels. Rhodey has the walking device from Civil War up until his appearance in Falcon and the Winter Soldier, but in episode 2 of Secret Invasion, his walker isn't present. The switch had to be recent for Rhodey. Okay, so I don't think he has the walking device in Civil War either. And honestly, we don't know where Civil War, where Falcon and Winter Soldier falls in that. Because he definitely has his walking device in Endgame. He has his walking device from Civil War to Endgame. And then he doesn't have it in Civil War. And Tony is dead at this point, so it's not like he could make him something. Right? Like, Tony is dead. Like, dead. If they're into fusing DNA, maybe Fury will get some Skrull DNA. Nah, I don't think that's gonna happen, Lux. So that's a good not opinion, but that's a good theory. But I don't think that's gonna happen. One interesting thing is you never see Skrulls replacing other Skrulls. For example, Gaia could have mimicked Gravik and just walked into the lab without a problem. I mean, well, in the episode, we did see like 7 to 8 other Skrulls become Gravik as well. And then I think Marisu also said something about that not being Gravik that we saw, possibly. So we kind of do see that happening, right? But we haven't seen it in the instance of spies doing it, which is weird. But I don't think you know what I mean? I don't think that's a major thing. I don't think things like that are major until we get outside of the show. If it doesn't happen in the show at all, then it's definitely like an iffy thing. Because we see that even like Talos doesn't even know when he's around other Skrulls that are mimicking Skrulls, you know? So this would be an interesting stance to implement something different other than the Sokovia Accords, but something similar to that, to where like they need to scan people to make sure that they're not Skrulls. Cool. We can debate Loki in the Discord tomorrow. Hell yeah, John. I'm definitely down for that. If you guys aren't in the Discord already, definitely jump in there because we have crazy, amazing conversations in there. A lot of the news that we have is put out on there first and more. So definitely tap in. W for Tony to say Rhodey. Yeah, facts. I agree that Gaia should have realized that Gravik was setting her up because I knew and my life wasn't on the line. I mean, yes, that's true. But one of the reasons that you know is because you're watching the show. And I feel like Gaia, it's very different for Gaia because it's her dad that is her quote unquote liaison and or handler within what she's doing. And I believe that up until this point, she actually has been believing very deeply in the cause that Gravik has put forth. And I think that only recently she has been actually dealing with her dad post the sewer situation that happened and Gravik killing all of those innocent bystanders, at that place. You know what I'm saying? Like in Russia at the festival. I think that is what kind of turned her onto being that, flippy floppy person. So I don't know how much, you know what I mean? And with that being said, I don't know how much training she has. I don't think that Gaia has as much training as Gravik has in the first place. And I think that Gaia was a little bit more naive purposely and not knowing what's going on and choosing the side of Gravik out of strict loyalty and blind following instead of actually having, solid viewpoints to stand on. But once again, we still need to see Gaia's backstory with like the whole thing of why she is who she ended up being, which I hope we get to see. Gaia wasn't set up. She was put in checkmate. Yeah, she was put in checkmate. Either she takes Gravik's bait or she lets that plane be shot down. Exactly. And I think that her dad knew that as well. And that's why he immediately told her to get out. And that's why she immediately got to moving as well. You know what I mean? Like, because that's the biggest thing when it comes to the spies that are on the good guy side, right? That's why they can be that's why they can so easily be turned on, and that's why they can be outed so easily. Is because the good guy is rarely going to allow the sacrifices. The sacrifices of the few is not worth the lives of the many when it comes to that standpoint. No matter what, right? No matter what, that's just it. Like, when you are a good guy, and when, no matter what type of spy you are, if you are a good guy, you know what I'm saying? The sacrificing the few for the lives of the many is never something that is on the table for you. It's just not. So I believe that works very well in the course of storytelling and allowing it to be understood that she does care about not just Skrull lives, but all lives of all kind. Because that's when things start becoming a lot more radical, is when you're looking at these things from the perspective of the lives of these people mean more than the lives of everyone else. He had the leg device at the end of Civil War to Endgame. Yeah, facts, Nighthawk. Yeah, that's very true. Gaia should have put up more of a fight. She is Talos' daughter, a fan of Captain Marvel and Fury, and why fall over because of some lights? If he saw her, she saw him. I feel you, Antoine, but in my opinion, what I will say to that, playing devil's advocate, is that Talos did not raise Gaia to be who she is now. That's really what I'm kind of banking on is that fact. I mean, look at it. She didn't even know her mom was dead. So it shows the level of naivety or naivete, whatever you want to call it, that she has. You know, she has been blindly following this terrorist faction up until this point, and that terrorist faction is the result of her mother's demise. So she's very not in the know of what's really happening and what's really going on when it comes to the war that is taking place. And Gravik has been literally shielding her in the darkness. Shielding her from the things that have been happening in the world and not letting her know anything of what's going on, even within the Skrull faction. It's not like she's Gravik's right-hand man. She knows like Bupkis. You know what I mean? Like all the other dudes in the compound that she's interacted with, they have known more about the plan than she's known. So I don't think that it's outside of the realm of possibility for her to be this, you know, not gullible, but very naive type of person. She is a fan of Captain Marvel and Fury, but this is something that's been definitely brought up again and again, is that Captain Marvel has not been back to Earth since she left Earth with the Skrulls to look for other shit until Endgame. That's the first time she's been back since then, as far as we know at this point in time. Like, she's been going throughout the world, going throughout the galaxy, being like a galaxy Avenger, basically. I mean, she says that in Endgame. You know, not every planet has an Avengers. I've been helping them out. So that's how I feel about that. And the whole falling over because of the headlights might seem a little bit cheesy, but she wasn't prepared for any of that. And in her mind, with all the things that we have said before, she is not the best. She's not been bred or trained properly to be a spy or to even be in these type of situations at all in the first place. So when she sees those bright lights, she might just hesitate off the back and not really know how to properly respond to that. But we don't know more about that until we see more of her backstory. Until proven otherwise, I've decided everybody was a Skrull. Rhodey Ross, that dude that yelled, "Hey, Spider-Man, do a flip." If Vision shows up alive, cut one finger to see what's up. You know what? I can dig that. No cap. Definitely interesting to see. Like, I gotta go back and watch these episodes because the whole blood thing I'm really confused about, but I understand the whole cutting a limb off and that, you know, the limb dying, not being connected to the blood, so it automatically reverts back into the Skrull DNA. That makes sense. So I gotta see what's going on with that a little bit more. You get a Skrull. Yeah, facts, Antoine, no cap. I feel like this isn't a spoiler because it's in the trailer. There's more footage of Gaia, so it's got to be a fake out death. Or it might not be a death at all, Andrew. And it's very possible for those things that we've seen about Gaia from the trailer aren't actually in the show because we have been faked out from the trailers a lot. So it's definitely interesting about it. You know what I mean? I'm definitely interested to see what goes on with that. It could be a fake out death, and she could have just reverted back to the Skrull on her own volition in order to fool bruh. You know? But we don't really know yet. Gravik had just shown that he suspected Gaia with the questions. Plus, he caught her snooping through the computer last episode. He got to be on a swivel. Head got to be on a swivel if you're undercover. I agree. Your head definitely has to be on a swivel when you're undercover. And I believe that she was on a swivel being undercover. But once again, when you're in that option of, yo, you got to save these lives, like, her dad told her to get out of there because he knew that her doing what she did would blow her cover. You know? So, like, she was probably told to keep her cover as long as possible. And I don't think Fury knew anything about that either, personally. I'm kind of feeling like there is a secret, like there's some secret faction that's been at works that Fury doesn't have, he doesn't have knowledge about. And I mean, that's pretty obvious from the shit that we've seen already. Going on the run unarmed when she's had a gun every other time? Nah. I mean, yeah, but she was just trying to get out of there, in my opinion. I mean, I understand, but she was really trying to get the hell out of there. What if Talos and Gaia switched places the last time they met? Ooh, that would be pretty dope. That would be pretty dope. And what? Okay, hear me out. Okay, this is insane. And I might be wrong. But what if Gaia and, what is his name, Beto, the new dude that just came to the Skrulls, what if he's actually a spy for Talos as well, and they switch places? I would actually be so down for that, right? Like, what if Beto or whatever bro's name was, what if he was sent there as a spy? So when they just went on that mission that happened, that was actually Gaia in the place of Beto and Beto in the place of Gaia. You know what I mean? I think that would be pretty dope. I'm just saying, I think that would be pretty dope. What if Gaia snuck some Super Skrull juice? Maybe a little extremis? I think that's very possible. She was definitely in the lab. And she's also looked at. You know, the abilities and the people that they've used for the serum. So I guess that's very possible. Marisu, no cap. Shang-Chi has connection to the British lady in the comics. Is there a chance he cameos? Yes. I think there's a chance that we see Captain America, Shang-Chi, and maybe She-Hulk. I would love if we get some heroes from like both movies and shows in this, because that would do a lot for Disney Plus overall. Gaia, the first Super Skrull confirmed by Marisu. Facts. That would work with the Talos old man bump when he left Gravik. That's very true. Ooh, that's very true. Talos and Gaia switching. That's super true. Actually, that's very possible that Gaia was Talos and Talos was Gaia after that point. It makes it a little bit more rocky, though. But I would like that a lot. Beto and Gaia switching places, very interesting. As far as losing the gun, you know what helps? You leave places when people try to stop you from leaving. Being armed works like a charm. Yeah, that's a good point. But you're putting into consideration that they run that whole compound very differently. And it's very likely that since they suspected Gaia of being a a double crosser, that they already de-armed her in some shape or form. You know what I mean? That's very possible. And with Gaia, she also, if we go on the fact that she has not been turned into a good guy for a long time, and that's something that just happened recently, like that may be something different. I don't know. She had a gun when she shot the lab guards. Oh yeah. That's very true. That's very true. So what are we talking about then? I'm very confused as to what we're talking about if she had a gun. So she did have a gun, but she was on. I'm very confused as to what we're talking about. You know what I mean? Like, on one hand, you're saying she was unarmed. On the other hand, you're saying she had a gun. So I'm very confused as to what we're talking about. No cap. I'm just gonna be honest. I'm very confused as to what we're talking about. I have a theory. If you're willing to hear, hell yeah, Kevin. What's up with it, Kevin?
Hello there.
I hope you enjoyed tonight's episode. No cap. I think the biggest reveal will be that Fury is the real Skrull. He seemed off in the car with Talos, even though they were arguing. Nah, I don't think so. I'm saying she was unarmed when Talos stopped her in the sewer? What? Even if she was armed, why would she shoot at her dad? I'm even more confused now as to what we're talking about. No cap. I'm really confused as to what we're talking about, G. For real. Because even if she had a gun, why would she shoot? Like, I don't even know. I'm very confused, bro. Sorry, Gravik stopped her and shot her. Yeah, Gravik stopped her and shot her. And you know what I mean? Yeah, that definitely happened. Gravik stopped her. Gravik shot her. Are you saying, like, why did she not shoot back? Like, why was she unarmed at that point? It's very possible that she was armed and he just got the drop on her, I guess. Yo, what the hell? That looks fire. Kazazimoto Generation Fire? A new Disney Plus original, and it looks freaking amazing. I'm definitely going to have to tap in with that and see what's going on there. Drop on her is a stretch. She was monologuing. Was she monologuing? Whoa. All right, I'm watching now. I'm watching now for you guys because I want to definitely be able to get this down packed for y'all. Is the sun a Skrull too? Can humans like procreate with Skrulls or something? Like is bruh's wife a Skrull? Like I'm missing so much. You know what I mean? Okay, okay. Okay, I might be overthinking this, but from what I'm looking at right now, it looks like she takes the gun from the dude that she fights. Like, cause she attacks the first guy, like punches him. She punches bruh in the face, and then they tussle a little bit, and then the arm that she uses to attack bruh, she then pulls a gun up with that arm, facing it at someone else. So I think it's very possible. Yeah. I think she takes that gun from the first dude that she attacks, because she doesn't shoot both of them. She attacks one of them unarmed first, and then after that we skip to them being Skrulls automatically. So we don't actually see her shoot anybody with the gun. We just skip from one thing to the next. And then we see her tuck the gun, and she runs away. She unsheaths the bike, starts it. She starts the bike. She rides away because there's no one in the booth. She's riding the bike, escaping right now. I'm watching it as I'm giving you commentary. The lights come on. She doesn't see the lights anywhere, by the way. So for those of you saying that was a little bit cheesy, there's no lights. She sees the lights. The lights frighten her. She falls off of the motorcycle. She takes off the helmet, and she's getting up. Gravik is already out of the car, standing up and looking at her. She's trying to lullaby the situation. He pulls the gun out on her before she even has a chance to pull her gun out. So if she was to reach for the gun in that time, you know what I mean? Like if she was to reach for that gun, it would go bad. I'm watching it right now, and there's no monologue of any sort happening. You're actually going to see the subtitles pop up on the bottom of the screen just so we can all be on the same page. So there is, look, I'll rewind. Gaia groans. So that's what happens right now. Gaia groans. Because she falls onto the ground. Lights. Gaia groans because she hits the ground. She's on the ground. Gravik is already out of the car, walking up to her. She's still on the ground at this point with him standing above her. Not above her, but standing up. Where are you off to, Gaia? I heard about the failed strike. Our men needed exfiltration. I didn't fail. As he says, I didn't fail. He's pulling out the gun. Finding the traitor was essential. So at this point, she cannot even grab her gun. Go on, turn around. There is literally no monologue. She says one sentence at this point. She says, I won't turn around. You'll look at me and ask yourself, are you a leader of Skrulls or our worst enemy? And he shoots her. Bro, that's it. You know what I mean? Like, I just want you guys to, like, really be able to pay attention to what's actually going on. Because I know it's very easy for us to see these things differently. But when you look at it, and like I just gave you the point by point, beat by beat, yo. There is no monologue. There is no time for her to even pull out the gun. Nothing. She did not shoot the other dudes. None of that. You know what I mean? None of that. She had no gun when Gravik stopped her. I mean, she could have had the gun. We just didn't see it. She had no time to pull it out. But yes, I guess he could have just stopped, gotten the drop on her. He 100% got the drop on her. She didn't even, she bent if you watch it, she's bending a corner where it's full of shrubs and greenery around her. So there is no, like, she can't see anything that's going on. And then she bends that corner, she's driving, has the helmet on, and then the lights come on and she falls off of the bike. I'm thinking about Fury and the Talos conversation again. It really removes Fury's agency and control as director of S.H.I.E.L.D. Nah, it really doesn't do that at all. It actually, in all actuality, it just solidifies those things because he was using Skrulls as at his disposal. You know what I mean? That's such a Nick Fury thing to do. I have to watch it again, but it came across like the Skrulls propped him up than him using them as pawns. Nah, he used them as pawns. And when Talos was even doing that, you know, Nick Fury didn't even take it seriously. He immediately shuts all that shit down in the very next thing he says. He's like, bruh, I'm worried about saving the world while you're worried about getting the clout, you know what I mean, about all these different things. So it's obvious that we're on different levels. That's basically what he says to Talos. That got me too. Why was the Skrull so worried about the kid? Yes, I agree. Like, maybe that's his kid. Maybe the Skrulls and humans can interbreed or something. I don't know what the hell that means, to be honest. Yo, shout out to Philly Boy Leem. Yo, welcome to the Super Fan, my guy. Definitely appreciate you, G. I hope you had a good time watching the show. Definitely join the Discord if you haven't already so we can discuss all these things more and nerd out a lot more. Took the gun, gets the data, leaves without a gun and gets shot. Okay, not smart. Nah, bro, you're missing a lot. You're missing a lot there. Took the gun, gets the data, leaves with the gun, gets surprised in the drop on her, gun whipped out on her before she's able to whip out gun, because even at this time, if we would just rewind, when she is caught red-handed, she's still trying to lullaby the situation. The first thing she says to reply to bro, he's like, where are you off to, Gaia? The first thing she says, I heard about the failed strike. So she's trying to lullaby the situation. She's still trying to keep her cover for all intents and purposes. You know what I mean? Literally no monologue going on there or anything. She just got the drop got dropped on her. Monologuing is when the guy with the gun talks too much and blows their advantage. Talking while the gun is pointed at you is called stalling. There you go. Like, there you go. What Mari Sue just said, 10,000,000%. She was stalling, not monologuing. Really think a lot of, yeah, definitely. Yeah. It would have gone more bad than getting shot anyway. I mean, you can say that now that she's got shot, but we didn't know she was going to get shot at that moment. She's talked herself out of multitudes of situations up until this point. So, yeah, she probably thought she could talk her way out of this one too. Fits within the character of what we've seen happen in the show already. Like, she hasn't gone guns blazing. Not one time. Not one time have we seen Gaia go on guns blazing to escape anyone. Even when Maria Hill is following her, she did not go guns blazing to get away from her. No guns blazing, not one moment of any time at all. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying? Just saying. This is my theory. I'm thinking Beto is working undercover, but it's really Nick Fury and Vera's son, the half-human, half-Skrull, and that's really Spy among the Skrull colony. That's going to be the big reveal. Ooh, so Beto is actually the son of Fury and Vara? Ooh, I'm actually super down for that. I'm actually super duper down for that. I would be so hyped to see that take place because I really want to know. I mean, okay. All right. So this is about to get a little weird for a little while, right? It's going to get a little weird for a little while. But if Skrulls are able to replicate the DNA of humans all the way down to a molecular level, then it's safe to say that when a Skrull is impersonating a human, they are able to get pregnant and still hold both that human and Skrull DNA and give birth to a Skrull human baby. I think theoretically that is not outside of the realm of possibility. Right? I definitely want to know what your guys' opinion on that is, because that's definitely just me theorizing here. But theoretically, if Skrulls are able to, like I said, replicate the DNA of a human to a molecular level, then they should, therefore, like if a Skrull is replicating a woman, has sex with a man ejaculates, and then the semen hits the egg that the Skrull is replicating, then all of those things should be the same, because you never know a Skrull is a Skrull until you cut off their body part, and then that's when you see what actually is going on, or if they die. So up until that point, for all intents and purposes, they are able to replicate the DNA completely of whatever sex they may be portraying at that particular time. Or I think something I could say better is it's possible, or they're able to replicate not the sex but the anatomy of whatever being they are replicating at that time. Okay, just in my opinion. It went bad regardless. I am going out shooting, LOL. I am just being facetious with the monologuing. It was my only complaint whole episode. I mean, she didn't have any time to shoot. Like, in all intents and purposes, she had no time to shoot. The only way she would have time to shoot is if she was, like, if she had the gun unholstered while she was riding the bike. And if bro was just sitting there with his lights on, then yeah, she could have went around him. But when it's already dark, you've already been riding in the darkness with nothing but your headlight putting the way. You know what I mean? I don't know. He definitely used them as pawns. That's exactly why they're mad at him. They said he used them and they didn't, and then didn't keep his word. Yes, exactly. Exactly. And that was the big reveal from the last episode, is Fury said, if you help me protect my world, I'll help you find a new one for you. They helped him protect his world. He did not reciprocate. You convinced me about Gaia and the gun thing. As far as interbreeding, remember what I said last stream about Fury having a Skrull kid potentially? I believe that. Yeah, I think that's very true. I do remember what you said, and I think that's very true. And I am all for the whole Beto being Nick Fury's son. I'm for that 1,000,000%. Just so you guys know, I am like all the way for Beto being their son. Like I really like that. I think that's a really good storytelling thing. And once again, we need to know if like how deep that replication thing goes, because that kid was definitely the son of the senator that was a Skrull. But it's very possible that bruh has been a Skrull for like 15 years of the 17 that bruh's been alive. So he has actually bonded with him. You know what I mean? That's very possible. So that kid may not be a Skrull. It may actually be a human. But the Skrull that is pretending to be a human has actually bonded with the human child because of, you know, getting in too deep, basically. I think that's one thing that you're really in. you really have an opportunity to be subjected to with these situations is these Skrulls being in too deep and start actually believing that they are the human that they are portraying. Very similar to what happens with even cops when they go undercover. They start believing the act, and then they become that, you know what I mean? And then it ends up blowing their cover, or they just get in too deep and don't want to blow their cover ever. If breeding is possible, why keep the meat suits then? The Antoine, the meat suits are specifically for the memories, as we just saw be portrayed at the end of the episode when Gaia went to the dude and to the general and found the secret word, basically, in order to cancel that. They keep the humans so they can access the memories easier. Very similar to what Talos and the other Skrulls did with Captain Marvel in that movie. Remember, they had her all hooked up to the machine in order to view her memories to see where the Tesseract was. That's the same thing that they're doing with the other humans. It's only to get their other memories in order to answer those questions more efficiently. So very similar to when you watch a spy show or anything like that, and you see the person they're wired up, and then the bad guy asks them a question, and they're waiting for the person in the chair to give them the answer so they can continue to play that character. It's something very similar to that. It's just on a memory level, super deeper than just Googling something. I don't see why Skrulls couldn't interbreed with humans. We already have other mixed breed characters in the MCU. Star-Lord and Blade are two that come to mind. Oh shit, you got a fucking amazing point right there, bro. If Star-Lord's daddy is already interbreeding with Skrulls, then not Skrulls, but humans, then there's no reason to not believe that other aliens would be able to interbreed with Skrulls as well. I think humanoid mammals may be the only thing that matters, right? Because you might have a humanoid species that lay eggs, but as long as they are mammal humanoids, then you are well within the possibility of them giving birth, right? I think, at least. I think. We're definitely in speculation station right now. I don't think Beto is their son. It would have come up when she was doing the "you left me" thing. Yeah, you're right. She definitely would have mentioned like single mother or left me to raise a kid or something like that. The only reason not to mention something like that in that time, well, not necessarily, because bro was old as shit. So if we do some math here, and Fury and what is her name? Someone give me her name. What's her name? Chat. What's her name? Vara. If Fury and Vara, okay, Skrulls have been here for 30 plus years. Bro looked like he was about, in my opinion, 25, 20 to 25, 20 to 27. Beto looked like he was about 20 to 27. So that leaves about 3 years for Fury and her to get to know each other. The episode started with seeing their first date, and that was in 1998, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's 3 years, 9 months of pregnancy, gestation. So it's very likely that bro is 23 to 24 years old. So that gives enough time for them to possibly raise Beto and have him out of the house and not really worrying about it before. So if bro's 24, 23, 22, 21, 20, 19, 18, that's six, so he would be 16 around the time of the blip. If he himself didn't get blipped as well. So I think, I know that might sound crazy, all the shit that I just did, but I think that would give room for him to possibly be, you know what I mean? Like the age to where she may not have mentioned that as much. And that may have been something implied by the things that she said. But I don't know. I don't know though. And not to mention, you know, the kid that he's playing, that Beto is, may not even be the act. You know what I mean? As a Skrull, you never know what's going on. So I'll say it's not. You know, I'll say that it's still open for possibility with all of the things that I just said. Commodore Bob had to have been recently replaced because his memories show his son as a teenager. Oh shit. Okay, good find there. Yeah, good find there. Yeah, you're right. They were playing, like, they were going snorkeling, all the things. So, bruh, it's okay. So then the Skrull was just keeping up appearances, trying to act like he wasn't a Skrull. So they might be under like a cyanide tablet type of deal to where, bro, you lie until you can't lie anymore, and if you're caught, you're dead anyway. So you might as well just, you know what I mean? It's over once you get to that point. Maybe that's why Rhodey is calling. He put Fury's son Beto in deep. If that Fury holds, yes, that's very possible. That's very possible. That's very possible. Humans can't shapeshift. If a Skrull transforms into an exact copy of a human, they wouldn't be able to transform back. Therefore, there must be some difference on the molecular level. Nah, I don't think so. Because the only thing that causes them to transform back is death. Like being, like passing out and all of those things, as long as there's some level of consciousness, they are still there. So I think that the DNA thing goes down to the consciousness level, not necessarily the molecular. I don't know. When we're getting to all these scientific-y things, it's very up for, you know, it's very subjective, as is everything anyway. But I do believe if we're talking about it to this level, you know, if we're talking about it to that level, then as long as a Skrull is a human, they bleed blood. It's red, you know what I mean? And no doubt if you take that blood and run it through a system, it will come back as being human, right? I don't think it'll come back as being Skrull. Because the only way they even know someone is a Skrull is by them dying. So you can't even autopsy a still alive Skrull because their body is automatically going to revert regardless. So if someone is a Skrull pretending to be a human, for all intents purposes, that's what they are, a human, until you find out otherwise. And that's why not even the Skrulls are able to realize who isn't one. Because it goes down to such a deep level that there's no way to find out unless someone dies, and they are no long. Because it seems like, I mean, especially since they're changing their clothes, that's definitely going down to the molecular level. Like, those are changing molecules themselves, right? Like, those are changing the molecules of my clothes into different clothing molecules. So it definitely does seem like it's more of a molecular level for everything that they do. That was Don Cheadle's voice at the end. Yeah, 100%, Brandon. 100%. Potentially, it depends on whether it's a human male with a female Skrull regarding interbreeding. I wouldn't even say that. I think it just depends, because even if a male Skrull is copying a female human, I believe as long as they are that female human, then all the anatomy is in place for them to do what's necessary. I don't know. We might be getting a little too deep into this, y'all. I thought the Captain Marvel movie said Skrull blood was different from humans, even when in human form. I think that may have been something that they were misinformed about. I think that was something that was said by the Kree, and the Kree were definitely misinformed about all of the shit that they knew. I agree with that because the lady had to cut off dude's finger to find out if he was a Skrull. Yeah, that's the only way. That's the only way they knew. You know what I mean? That's the only way they knew what was going down. I think the only way to detect if someone is a Skrull without cutting off is probably to expose them to radiation that would kill a human and see if they survive. I agree with that. I agree with that completely. So what if a Skrull copies an X-Men down to the DNA level? Wouldn't that be enough to copy their powers? Well, not necessarily, because mimicking powers is something that can only be done by the Super Skrulls in the comics. But by this form that they're doing here, the Super Skrulls are being made through a super soldier type formula. So technically, no, because the thing. But that also, okay, so this gets super nerdy here, but if you look at the shit that Marvel has set up within the comics, the only reason why humans are even able to get these things is because of what the Eternals have done and like affecting Earth differently and all of that. So the X gene is something that is inherently there for humans specifically and not necessarily there for any other race in the galaxy, because the way that the planet Earth was seeded was very different from every other planet, because humans, Eternals, and then Deviants were the first three things that were created. And then once you go through all of those deep things, those are the reasons why humans are able to get exposed to gamma radiation and become the Hulk instead of dying. That's why they can be bitten by radioactive spiders and turn into Spider-Man instead of dying once again. It's because of all of those things. So that molecular structure that they have access to as humans, that we have access to as humans in the Marvel universe, no other race has access to that except for the Super Skrulls specifically. And when it comes to the Super Skrulls, I'm not entirely sure how their shit works in the comics. I don't know if I'm pretty sure they're just like I don't know if they're just a race that can copy things down to even more specific. Maybe it's down to a DNA level with regular Skrulls and a molecular level with Super Skrulls or something like that. You know what I mean? So, yeah, if that makes sense. I mean, Skrulls are super strong, so imagine what that baby kicking would do to a human female. Yeah, that's true. That's true. But I guess for all intents purposes, once again, I think it would be very different for the reverse of things. I don't know. Like, if a female would be impregnated by a Skrull that is a male that is replicating the anatomy of a human male, then technically the sperm from that Skrull would not transform back into Skrull DNA when impregnating the human female anatomy. Okay, this is insane. But technically that wouldn't happen, and then that's when we would have to go down to that level of seeing how much of Skrull DNA is still around when they are impersonating a human. So unless a Skrull that has the anatomy of Skrull has the same type of sperm that a human does, they would not be able to impregnate a woman unless they were replicating the anatomy of a human to begin with. And then that DNA that they would secrete would not transform back to the Skrull DNA. Technically, I guess. I don't know. I think, I mean, we're going really far with this, but I think that makes sense. Like, in my brain, everything that I've just put on the table makes sense. So I hope it makes sense for you guys too. X genes are technically activated. Very true. Very true. They are technically activated. Yeah, but radiation poisoning takes a long time. The quick way to cut it off. Yes, true. We are going deep in this chat. Yeah, Antoine, we are. I didn't know we were going to be here. I didn't know this is where we were going, but this is where we're at. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where we are now. I joined the stream at an interesting time. Yeah, bro. Sorry about that. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry about that, Delta. You definitely joined the stream at a wild time. Are you seriously giving us the Marvel birds and bees talk? I mean, yes, I am. Because that's how it would work, technically. You know what I mean? Skrulls are super strong when they are in human form, though. So Skrull Mama, human daddy, works. Yes, Skrull Mama, human daddy, works. But Skrull Daddy, human mama, only works if Skrull Daddy has human daddy anatomy at the time. Right? I think that's it. That's it. That's as far as we're going. We're not going any deeper than that, bro. That's it, yo. I never thought I'd be having this conversation, but I do believe that all of us are a little bit more understanding about the anatomy of what the hell is going on here. I'm just saying, like, that's what makes the most sense, right? I mean, and this is all speculation as to if Beto is actually the son of Skrull Mama being Vera and human daddy being Nick Fury. Like, that's the only basis that we have to even talk about this on. That's insane, but it's a fact. I honestly think that's what would be going. Like crazy how deep we just went with that, but that's honestly what I feel like would happen right there. Delta says, this made my night getting a sub for me, man. Hey, I appreciate you. Welcome to the super fan, brother. Next week on Maury, Nick Fury, Beto, and Vara. Nah, that's crazy. We've talked about all the things, though. I think we've definitely went into we've went far in depth with all of the things that we've talked about today. I'm trying to think of if there's anything else. You know what I mean? There's really nothing else that I can think of. I think that we really answered all the questions that I had here in the chat until we actually get definitive answers next week. So I'm definitely hyped to see what happens next week, and I hope you guys are too. If you guys aren't already, make sure you join the Discord so you can keep up to date with all of the discussions that we have with all of this Marvel stuff, because we're definitely going to be talking about a lot more. And around here, we do our best to take people from normie to nerd. You know what I mean? That's our biggest thing, is taking people from normie to nerd, answering all the questions that you might have, and being able to give a little bit more insight on what's going on within the MCU when it comes to storytelling, world building, and lore overall, because a lot of the times those things aren't something that is inherently praised when it comes to movies, unfortunately, in my opinion. And I think that the MCU was the first time we're getting a lot of this world building, storytelling, and lore built into built into the story that they're weaving across all of their movies and television shows. So I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in today. with me. If you haven't already, make sure you follow us on at Marvel Bros on all platforms to stay up to date with all the movie news and content that we post every single day. You can also follow me on social media at SenseiFinito to stay up to date with all my thoughts, theories, and opinions on whatever particular thing that I am particularly partaking in with that particular time. And if you guys don't know, I also am owner and, you know, all of that. I am owner and a part of a Jesus Christ. I am owner and a part of a esports organization. Yo, it's been a long night. I hope everyone's had a good 4th of July and all that good stuff. So tap in with us on all the platforms and all that good stuff to see what's going on there. My Adventures with Superman. We're going to be doing a watch party for that. It comes on television Thursday night. We don't have cable around here at Marvel Bros. We only have streaming platforms, so we're going to be able to watch that the next day as far as we know now. But we will be having a you'll be able to see that up on the channel at some point. If you guys aren't already, make sure you drop a sub to save today with all the stuff we talk about here on the channel. And I hope you guys do join the Discord and all of those good things. I definitely appreciate each and every one of you guys for tuning in and vibing with me on tonight's episode, on tonight's watch party and review of episode 3 of, I almost said Falcon and Winter Soldier, but of Secret Invasion. I think this show has been incredible. I appreciate all of you guys, and I hope all of you guys have a fantastic rest of your night. And as I always say, stay awesome, stay nerdy, and don't forget to stay marvelous. Excelsior.
If you guys would like to support Marvel Bros, all you gotta do is visit our website at www.marvelbros.com and buy some merch. Represent the superfan.
Or you can join our Patreon to get early access to content, patron-only scoops, giveaways, private Q&As, and those sacred watch parties.
We appreciate you guys. We'll catch you on the next one.
Excelsior.
On today's pop culture news update,
And on today's pop culture news update,
on today's pop culture news update,